So hello and welcome to the video. For the majority of us that don't live right next door to an airport, an early morning flight presents us with a bit of a problem. Do you get up in the wee small hours and drive in that morning hoping there are no traffic catastrophes? Do you get in touch with your old schoolmate who lives in West London and resurrect the friendship just so that you can go and crash on their sofa for the night before your flight? Or do you just not even consider morning flights because they're just too hard? An obvious solution is to spend the night at an airport hotel. But they cost a fortune, don't they? And aren't you just adding a whole new set of logistical challenges that you could really do without? Well, the answer to those two questions are no and no. Indeed, you can actually save money by staying in an airport hotel. I recently had an 8:50 AM flight from London Heathrow, a flight that I reviewed here. I live in Folkestone, which can be a 2-hour drive from Heathrow, but then again, if the M25 misbehaves, it can be a 4-hour drive. The first train departs at 6 in the morning, which, if connections work perfectly, would get me to Heathrow at around 8, maybe 8:15. Neither of which were particularly appealing to me, so I decided to stay in an airport hotel, and to be specific, in a Premier Inn. If you'd like to see what happened, stick around. Hi, I'm Matt. Over the last 25 years, I've travelled a lot. I've lived in 5 countries on 4 continents. I've flown over 1.3 million miles. I've visited over 100 countries, every American state, but I'm nowhere near done. So hit subscribe to see where I go next and perhaps get some inspiration for your next trip. So here are the options Hotels.com will offer you for a sample night next month. The 3 properties inside the airport itself are strongly priced, and even some of the options on the outskirts are comfortably into 3 figures. But plenty of the options along the Bath Road to the north of the airport are far more reasonably priced, and the one I chose was not there at all. And that's because the Premier Inn group of hotels doesn't make its properties available through third-party booking engines, in the same way Direct Line doesn't with insurance in the UK, or Southwest Airlines doesn't with flights in the USA. They all do this to keep prices low, as they don't need to pay commissions on their business. Which is great if you know about them. It's probably extremely self-defeating if you don't. So over on the Premier Inn website there are 5 options close to Heathrow that same night, and Premier Inn helpfully names them to guide your choice. 2 properties are best located for Terminals 4 and 5, and the one I chose was best located for Terminals 2 and 3. I also paid £35 for my night. So the big challenge is how to get to the property. Some will offer a package whereby you can leave your car at the hotel for the duration of your trip, but I took the opportunity to travel on public transport, and that's where staying the night prior to the trip actually saved me money. By taking trains through London outside of peak hours, the saving on my train ticket was greater than the cost of the hotel for the night, something to bear in mind when planning a trip. I use an app called City Mapper, which is incredibly helpful. It works in lots of cities now, and once you've told it where you want to go, it will plot out the best routing. It told me to leave the tube at Hounslow West Station, cross the road to the bus stop C, and wait for one of 3 buses that will take me right to the hotel. It really is very good, and once you're on the bus, the little blue dot will help you to know when to get off. Most of the hotels on the Bath Road are on the north side of the road, so you'll have to cross it twice, once to get to the property and then again to pick up the bus to the airport in the morning. The Premier Inn is very well located by being on the south side of the road. The property wasn't really what I expected. It's almost a small town under one roof. Check-in was very quick. The agent spotted the camera and was quite excited to hear I made videos. There was a restaurant to the right, then a Costa coffee shop and a pub to the left. As I said, a small town under one roof. The kind of place it might be quite fun to find yourself snowed into. I arrived after 9 PM and it was pretty busy. Man United were playing in the Champions League, which was being projected onto the wall. The obligatory pretend to enter the room for the first time despite obviously having already gone in to set up your camera shot. Sorry if I'm spoiling the magic, even I couldn't take it seriously when I was filming it. So the room, I mean, it was quite nice. Designed for one night stays, so not much storage space, but you don't need much. A decent shower and some soaps and shampoos if you didn't bring your own. Tea and coffee making facilities, as we are in the UK, and they do seem to be a legal requirement. A smallish TV and the main event, the bed, which was pretty good. Very comfortable with decent quality bedding. I slept quite well. And finally an odd sofa thing that was rock hard and very uncomfortable. Not to mention a spectacular view of the pub downstairs. It's interesting to quickly point out what the room doesn't have. There are no charging points by the bed, which is really annoying and is something that just shouldn't happen these days. There's also no phone in the room and I could find no Lenny Henrys. The property did offer Wi-Fi. I got a 21.5 megabyte download speed. Oh no, wait, that was the 4G on my phone. That's right, I got a 1 megabyte download speed from the Wi-Fi. But there is Wi-Fi. I thought it important to check out the pub for you, dear viewer. Quite pleasant and fairly busy, probably because of the football. Some old geezer called Ronaldo scored a very late goal to snatch a draw for Man United, which seemed to please a few of my fellow patrons. I knew I'd get breakfast in the lounge at the airport before my flight, so when morning came I resisted the all-you-can-eat breakfast special. There's part of me that looks upon unlimited food offers like that as a challenge, so it was a little hard to pass it by, although I don't believe there was a t-shirt on offer for eating the kitchen bare. It was served in the Time restaurant downstairs, and a few people did seem to be getting stuck in. As I said, this property really is a small town. Checkout involved dropping off the key, and in seconds I was at the bus stop ready for the 13-minute ride into Heathrow. Citymapper again helping navigate the unfamiliar bus network. So overall, I quite enjoyed the Premier Inn experience. Booking is very straightforward as long as you know that their properties exist. Access in and out via bus was very straightforward and the location was very good in that regard, and you really can't complain about the price. Will I stay there again? Absolutely, although I would also like to see how other hotels on the edge of Heathrow do compare. So please take a second to give this video a like, it really helps me out. Please subscribe if you're new and leave me a comment. Would you stay at a Premier Inn? So thanks for watching and I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.